news ni dey fantastic. Bright FM 4 dey. Mu ye boy news ni dey. E mu da o kan.
Simano Nina no Siabo, Gallery Mama Muninajo, Eba Breakers of Fidie, at your concrete power Bacoso, Eba so, and ne brother Numrei, and some Aura and Sasso, and some Pepewa. Yadi kind of tenants, some photo of Cassia, and some Ukraine on Yadi Damo, say Wobete Kasiebo, and send more do not try by Wentino. Ute Bright 99.1 FM Sono. I shita our joy daddy multimedia. Your station Sahuroso and I'm sweet 100.3. Abing 103.3. Daddy 101.1. Winners 104.9. Lord 107.1. Facebook Bright 99.1. YouTube Bright 99.1. And somewhere at the train and you may ever send him with the Amamono. Near the enemy be an ebe.
Ma Shabadoni, our Jim, our Zabila, a constituency, our Upper East Mountain. Wulumunyan for a year, Cletos, one and workers and Wocham say. The SC 2024 election, a year Kania Bia, a trendy probably quine.
And then they know was so for Hessica, some so come right or members of the fear. Now, I fear a besimo, but some men say Dick I see kind of a bra. What do you want some cocoa to Jan? One cock, na a dear, and a seal. I was here and Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council for Aqua Kosra, the president-elect. John Dramani Mahama, come across a Bibabuzia, Mufan Chena or Kensi Haji. Cletus Avoca, OCDN. Quay, well, did you?
Every draw by Nana, meaning, maybe a good news be by.
You may
good news be by 2 days. Now we grab my candidate, majority that you are candidate. Ghana for so Casa. Woman President elect Yara John Dramani Mahama. Wubenu, Yakani Mabebre, dear, Nanso Animaniano, ye bibi.
Yabeti Simo, our Blakumano for about 1% or so. And the Kwashima class of school say a Jacotobe be a balabos a guno. Fire service for Kaday, Nandy Samuel Konusu SDN.
And Sambi Akawe and an anime Sinkonya. Yade Ababasomo say Wobete Kasiebo or Bright 99.1 FM. Na Yumoko Yadaroma. Yatranse.
Hey, see Kwani collections. Runyan Tadia no Diabegui. New arrivals aba. Send about 20 bedroom abenya so no de. E mani mema nkwala penny montade fefe. Na nyemu ya e mamu nwi enwimu nwi enwi tuntum blue green. Amode siesie mutin a e ma ho fa ni bi ebe ka ho. See Kwani collections e di biaba Freedom Stores le mu wona abehu omo. F2 Ventures. Kasaja highway ni so fa ho. Kwaje security doors, jacuzzi, plumbing materials. And afi eye tiles. Nyade to wall floor ni bathroom ni bedroom nyina no ubenya bi o satellite zone so water house TV ba na pa opebi ato wunya decoder any ho antennas a channels bebre so fe pa the drop of transport limited ya na ma ka amode gaga ukromboga uba mfa ka ma ha ho bra the drop of transport limited ya ma ka ntwie ya ton eco boost fuel treatment no bi ntia bra bejo de Kofodua shop number 21 Osi Central Hospital Gate. One and crata fields was a few sim the 1 year Juma and Fanko show fear before na before ye nyere. On crata sem and endi mu and crata sem to be a sadabo damu abruchiri enkratasem to bi ani tutu atoni nsem ewa abrichire enkrata fie se wa kwantuo mu enkratasem nyina fa bedan no say holidays bi na akwadwuma na akwakopaye eno so fa enkratasem nyina ba bedan no mama P cosmetic center oba umpoku ehunhwam body splashes wakodwam eno wakodidwa awia bow enwenti ka okono na wagu nso awie no na wape body splash bi na wodi agu enpadua ne ho ne ho na bibia ye kama na ne enku so odi aba no tuntumfo benyom de kokofo benyom de obia benya ne sunu nku ama wede no atoso kama vehicle 20 say optimize your immunity and transform yade bon so amu abamu esanse vehicle 20 wo ho bubobi sumame ekoto bi mrawo na anum na pa no pa wiane anwumre bon se ohun ebesisi so na eye dobi a unya num ya na eye oni padua num adwuma so atase ti kwa na ekohwe bie anwumre obi anum bia nkanye ni se collectors adane ni okekanye nti ye na ye besi nsem hu koso eye me odi amono kwa odise na ya obenge ana kle
krobodise kwa me okansi anwumre waje adwa de ensam no ya ba papa mu e de amon na wohu dia eko e wo man Ghana mu
Bright FM, Daddy FM,
Lord FM, Winners FM,
Sweet FM.
Was it enu anso na me be sha se eja enya ba ne sa ntie be fa ne sa we di ehumu great eja ye wo ma ne di bia esere obe ne den Kasiebo ne nyina frafra ne ye de ba no enti ma ye sha se mfam oyi mra sebedwani ade momfo mu girem ewo Zabira eye constituency ewo Upper East Mantem odumonyamfo eye Kretus eno na mekokan ne bibufura akwakoya asem de amami avoka ekanidi ho eno no wakasa no ochem se nanu adaya enaja ye to aba awieye na wodinani atofam ahwe niam ba ko mienu bi ne wahunu se dabi ade esema nkasa mfa ho a eyade e be hye me bosa wahwe ana ahuhuru na ye pompo etu wosi woyi edi apie na no ana ensenchofo bi sense na ede na sha oboso opeso yi pie eno ochem se nanu ade ye to aba de esiye no edi adanse se niam bebre so abia wose Ghana fo nyina hunu sampa we de ayade bia ne nyina ne ye de hye wonsa wutimi atoto niam ayie ede a position wo pani avoka echrem se kania bi ababeto man Ghana so a ebia nipa bebre ani eti se wote Ghana na saade we mbie wani a na ne de wonim kania ko a ebetumi ache wo kan wo chem se MPP amanyoko no entwa wo mu ediye no ayade a ne nyina no edoso na eso yie papa eti we ne se ye deposition bi sha wo sa ankankan mu amwa aban mu no se ye de bibi sha wo sa we di adanse se wo se wo ye na wo ye ne yie se na be ya Ghana fo nyina be hunu sampa wo ye ne yie enti se ba se Ghana fo wonom ekasa adema wa na wo mo eka na wo mo hunu yie na wonom nso aka ne yie etotem se Ghana fo hu ahia yie pa enti se ye de tumi bi sha wo sa na ya ho Ghana fo jawon Ghana fo de se ya ne ho nkone ba wo mo nso metro se saa na wo mo etie na wo panyin ade ne nsam atudwa wo tem se mra sebedwafo wo se ye kwa setena ye tena se yie na ye tena se yie no wono ankasa kirikiri mu.
It's a message by Ghanaians to all of us, particularly politicians, that you do not hold your office for granted. You don't take the people for granted, and that the decision of the people is supreme, that the will of the people must be respected. So this result demonstrates or tells us that we must be careful in the office we occupy, we must relate to the people, we must be sensitive to the feelings of the people, we must have a listening ear. So politically, socially, economically, the election demonstrates that MPP government led by Nana Akufo-Addo failed us politically, socially, socially, economically. Politically, they have been very divisive. They have introduced politics into the security services, whether the police and the army, extra, even in the civil service. They have introduced politics into even the families. Socially, Ghanaians are now suffering. The cost of living is so high. You can predict it, that today it is this, tomorrow it might increase, and the rest of them. And economically, we are virtually a bankrupt country. So it was a grievance against these vices by the MPP administration. I didn't like the composition of the 7th Parliament when it was 169 against 96 or thereabout. So when the 8th Parliament came in, it was virtually a hung parliament. I was quite pleased with it. I thought that Ghana had sent us a message that they need consensus building in the running of this country. Ghanaians have sent us a message that they need consensus building in the administration of this country. Unfortunately, we have not taken advantage of that. And because of the rancor and business in the 8th Parliament, I think that's why the Ghanaians voted in such a way that they want to give a government good majority so that it can perform well to their satisfaction. So I don't regret about the 8th Parliament. We could have still done better, but I think that even though NDC has an overwhelming majority, we still need to build consensus. The country is for all of us. We still need to take on board some of the ideas of the minority group that will be coming to the system. So we need one another.
Wow. It will hear me me here. Yanina here, young son by our man bet me up him aquanim. The attending Kane, I am Rasabadini. At the moment for Mujim, our Zabila air constituency, our Pa East Mountain, Woodman for a year cretus, avoca.
Another in also for Race Casamso, Renan for Amina Damanta, El Copiamo, Memra Sebede Fie. Nanya, Afia Babesimo, Bosumia, Edikaye, Sanya, Mambra, Titina, Fia Prakradio, Chrome, you know, Etreno. I said, Afifu from Sabai, Essa. Aja womo nyesi kakakra ba bosumi ensa January February March na no ye de tuatua banka na ba no ba ne de adanda no kakra ansana afe no budget no womo de ho nsema ba betudwa na eno adampo na nanko se osofo hesi kasam so ekọ womo hwe nanimu a wankopiem ene de nso mo kotranse na nka oso oba eno nso womo hwe ya wa ma mepiem ho na eno enanam so ema eye edomkuma wo mra se bedwafie no wo modwa lai se na ede na ekosui sanse ene nanka wo se dom kese no empanifu edoma no ene majority leader ni majority repo enkoso mo ba sanse majority leader no no leader of government business abandwumadi awodie ene ne ene wo madi wo mra se bedwafie ho no wano ene di animu na afio mo maka di eche no madi hudwuma ya hwe na animu a wano nso eni ho enam so amononyamfo governance Kwame Agboja awono ya minority chief rep eno a kire se we di otumu pa se eye boapayo bi na wo ma se da committee abomu se yemfa adwen ene yemfa adwen ma yenko na se da be ya yentumi mfa sa eye bosome miensa ye edikan wa fie ba besimu sika no enkonkotu eye emrase begefia na se enkonkotu dwane enihu edwuma enam so ma governance Kwame Agboja dwalai amani ne erikopoku eto aso kire se esanse Ghana fo eto abade eti aba wenti eno mo mpese wo mo edi sai hye ne beko ama yetumi etu adwumafo ka afia ye ba besimu na nsem a etwagu ye omrase begefia no ebini.
There was rumors all over the place. I didn't peddle any rumor. I just suggested that I hope there was no conspiracy to say that the finance minister will not lay this particular item. The very respected the Supreme Leader, Honorable Chairman Sabonsu, came to the defense of the finance minister saying that based on some new development on the fiscal front of the state, it might be necessary for him to maybe review what he's already brought to Parliament, because I know you are in possession of what he was supposed to lay. That is why it appeared on the order paper. We are here today again, Mr. Speaker. The finance minister is not here. The leader of the side opposite is not here. Nobody is telling us anything. Mr. Speaker, I'll repeat. I hope there's no conspiracy to make it impossible for this to be laid, to be taken until the 8th Parliament expires. The whole world would have known that it was a deliberate decision of somebody not to lay this to be taken. I hope the rumors circulating are false. I just hope it's false. Otherwise, there's no reason why a document in the possession of Mr. Speaker, the document is already here. Why there's nobody available in government to lay this is a mystery, Mr. Speaker. It is a mystery. Why did you communicate that document to to Parliament if you are not ready to lay it. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll just leave it here. But let all people, workers in government, all workers in this country, everybody who draws from the public purse be aware that the opportunity exists for the finance minister to communicate to Parliament this document of expenditure in advance of appropriation. However, they have decided that for reasons known to them, they are not going to lay that paper. If we get to a point where we are not able to take this under the 8th Parliament, the blame should solely be at the doorstep of President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia and the finance minister. And they should be aware that there are consequences in the Constitution if you fail to discharge your duties, responsibilities placed on you as a public official, and you fail to do it, there are consequences. They should be ready to face those consequences. Mr. Speaker, I leave it here.
What they are running away from is to present expenditure in advance of budget. Just expenditure to cater for February and March. And you are saying that you have lost elections, so you won't do. Is that what you're telling us? Is that what you're telling us? That you have lost elections and they want to perform that duty. The president Nana Akufo-Addo cannot do this to Ghanaians. He must come and present the document. He has a duty to fulfill. And he cannot run away from that responsibility. That is why the leader is not here. That is why all your ministers are not around.
And you for Governor Kwame Agboja and Afei Era Erikopoku and TA one chairperson chese aban person betwed me for ka enti na finance minister ma enen so mo hwene nimu enen so a wamma na nochi na Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe aka Napo wane ononyamfo osei chei mensa bonsu enso edo mo de bomu ana Era Napo kire se Kwame Agboja ka se wo makandifo no mo leaders no aseda no ma fa adwen bi sa a conspire se wo mo ma no ma babele sabel no a ene na Kwame Agboja no na ene no no akwa fa ba wono ana ho ni penifo no afa adwen sa na ba ne de wonya adwen sa bia eno no nyafo se chemensa bonsu so de to aso se ensam no wo ka no no kre enimu enye sa ene nsam no ete.
There we go again. There we go again. After looking at his side, his leader, deputy leader, are not available in the chamber. He extends a statement to us to say that there's a conspiracy on our side. If there's a conspiracy of leadership. If there's a conspiracy, where is Ato? Where is Emmanuel Mabua? Where is Afenyo? Where is Patricia J? I think there's a conspiracy of leadership. And we should hold Agboja responsible for that conspiracy. Because for all the leaders here, he's the senior most. He's the minority chief whip. So what are you doing? Mr. Speaker, it is not the first time in this house that even a minister brings a document and decides that I'm going to withdraw the document. It will not be the first. So the fact that the Speaker has got the expenditure vote on account doesn't mean the Minister of Finance, in the light of what the Supreme Leader Osei Chairman Sabotu said, certain things might have happened on the physical space in this country, such that the Finance Minister may be looking at his figures very well to come and withdraw and bring an appropriate document. Mr. Speaker, the best we can do at this juncture is to suspend sitting so that we go and look for our leaders to come and direct us on what to do. Mr. Speaker, I'll beg, let us suspend sitting so that we go and chase Ato and Afenyo and find out what they are doing. Maybe they are doing your beloved welfare issues. Yesterday you were on and on about your welfare issues. Maybe the leadership is on your welfare issue. So, Mr. Speaker, we can't do anything on this side. We can't move because the leader of government business is not here. So let us suspend. Give us 3 hours. We will come back and continue.
Mr. Speaker, I think that it must be established. It must be established that the majority party as of now in Parliament, the caucus, has never decided not to lay documents in this house. Mr. Speaker, the chief whip for the minority made that explicit statement that it's been decided by the majority that documents should not be laid in this house. That is a patented untruth. Speaker, then he said, we have decided not to work. Again, an untruth.
Enti wapache se domkumana semo omuka se o ma sheda no mo peso mo de bill ne beba ana ma sheda peso mo be ye adwuma wo se enye sa na etie entomo keka nkom nsem nyina wieye no na o se Mr Speaker si aginaye efa sansem no ho ana o se ono kra no ne ho adwiri no esanse bills mienu bi kra wo ho no ye private members bill and ko se ne dai wo mutumi ye ho adwuma enu se ya wo mo edi ho adwuma no wo mo se wo mo ama enti di o kra mo ane se edom kase no wo mo nka nche o makandifo no sempo se majority leader na ntumi emma e wo se ni deputy etumi eba na afesu majority chief whip wanu su tumi ba na nyame ya doma wo kira no pa nondu wo mo san etrance na afei dwumadie bi aka no mutumi to azanse akamre kuma bi na wo dwumadi omu di no na ba na wieye wo mo wo fiti ene ya kwakosi efiada memenda e wo so mo yensiesie na wo mo de etwen eye transition no ene suare ina ebekoso enti wo mo wa kwakosi efiada pe etiebre no kra wo mo mfra wo se ochena wo mo hia wo mo mra na ochena de wo metra se tin ononyam for Abansman na Kingsford Bagbin.
Now I'm hearing something different. We just have a few days. Today is Tuesday, we have Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. The other days we're preparing the house for the transition in January. So please, members, calm down. I'm really surprised. The leadership on my right, I can see the deputy majority whip available. I think I will have to direct you to get in touch with your colleagues to be available tomorrow so that we can do some business. Please convey that message to them that we need them on the floor. If we can't get all of them, if we can't get the leader himself, at least the deputy should be here, the chief whip should be here so that we can do some business. Because your colleagues here cannot usurp your authority unless so directed. Even though some of you are giving a new title to my good friend, the former majority leader, so many titles are now coming. I don't know which one to always use. But he is definitely not the great leader. That one we know he is not the great leader. We know the great leader is no more. Those of you pushing him to go early, he will refuse, and I will support him. He won't go. So please, he is not. He can't just usurp the authority and be leading the house in these matters. So please, I want to urge all of you. I've listened to the minority leader. We'll take a bow, and then tomorrow we come to continue with the business. Please come prepared to sit for a long haul tomorrow so that we can do most of these businesses. With this, I'll proceed, with your kind permission, to adjourn the House. Honorable members, the House is accordingly adjourned to tomorrow at 10 in the forenoon. The House is adjourned.
Bright FM, Daddy FM,
Lord FM, Winners FM,
Sweet FM.
Ani a wuti yi eyamra se bedwafie chiame ononyam for Abansman na Kingsford Bagbin enti wo mantumi antoa so andi omudwumadie no wane atu edi ahye wo kyena nyame yadoma no panondu wo mesa kwakotena se no ma hwese wo so for resika samso ebeba na wode akohoma sika aban a obadi bedi dwuma bosome miensa edi nanimu amanfo bi adwenkyira ba yemfa bi emfamu Isaac Fifi Asare was so here live at the Free University of Cape Coast campus was a jano yakoso amaninde buruburu eja kakra enso say we dey news na correct 100% Simon nyako enso say wo hwe at the Free Twifu Praso e wo mfimfi mantemu was say allo record anti allo record say nidin bako enso eno nti so faudi na efa Facebook Bright 99.1 FM BRYT 99.1 FM and I say WhatsApp 0532 387 755 0532 387 755 Krobakwa
menso me komanim na yede ensam ni bi eka ho ede amamode a majority leader dom kasia samre amno eka sein wodi ni dwumadie omra sebadwe fie sanso emra sebadweni ade ma omanfo mugirem futu constituency eye mfimfiri emantam wonumonyamfo Alexander Afenyomaken wono ene wakase ene wo echem se nanu ade ya abato ya ne nyina no yetimi ade akwawe ya bibia ekọ na asumdwe ekwanso no opanyi echem se MPP amanyoko no wono mo ade womani atofam ene wo mohunu se dabi senia NDC amanyoko no wono mo adi nkunim ewo miamia bebre no wopanyi echem se bebre wo honma bibi wom pa ebi wo honma wo se ko benkum obehu ana ho omdo mun sesi so no mamia na fe na konifa etu otem se wo mde nkrofo bi agugu akwan mu a ne nyina no ehwehwemu ekoso audit officers ne ho nkone ba ne constituency by constituency ohwe constituency ebia na etwa se NDC ni na di nkunim honma na ne de omde nkrata to nkrata so na omde pen ato pen so na wo ayehwehwemu no de ebe abetodwa biara no opanyin echem se wonum emfa enkame Ghana for the biara da na sadie we de wono de ogitum a enye wo ye example kura na wotem se awe ya constituency enu se no nanka wo se ekọ edemom candidate a ye frɛ no abanga nanso enkrofo ye ya fesuma se fahamu ede fra ya ema ne kodi NDC amanyoko no ensa enti wonumnyafo Alexander afenyomaken echem se Ghana for modern mountain.
By the way, we are auditing other constituencies. Meaning they lose the election. Okay, yes. But the magnitude now win onto them from the little I saw at the collation center. We are doing audit constituency by constituency. Ono na no na warrior da warrior no, but make catch out there. Nimbre pem MPP for. Yes, them reporting about Botuga. It's the our win. Abanga yet. Oh, we knew was Sake ni polling station executives, ni polling agents. What 3 polling stations they were beaten and sacked. Then they managed to manufacture polling agents for him. With upon all of that, the candidate there NDC winning by just about 92 votes based on the declaration. That is not even part of this. We are doing its own audits. Other audits are being done, but. Nimbre payment ya baka wansa
enti be osi ncho ni de omadi ncho pa na mmom Ghana from de montwen de beba bia no bon sampa eniema bi koso ewe sumase de etini kan eyedom kase no ba no dani osanso ya mra sebedwani afutu constituency infifini emantem wonumnyamfo Alexander afenyo maken
yɛda so na gyina abatuo mu nsɛm ne abatuo akyi nsɛm apiepie mu na nsɛm baako ana epie mu ana edom kuma no ɛbɔ soboɔ sɛ afi abatuo kɔkɔto abawie ya etu asa kasa bio ama enipa bi ato anananom ense do asɛm esi afi mpimienu ne aduonu abatuo ni mu a Ghana yɛreta so sɛ wedi sune yan konkoto ba emma enipa nhwere ne nkwa bio 2024 esa de kwahye so a enipa ba miensa ato nananom ense do abatuo yi emu na eno nana eye bibie di sobo no na dom kuma di sobo no ebo eye asrafo anase task force a woni ekokohwe abatuo no so no na eno na Dominic Nitulo no ye defense minister echese sa sobo we wonu so ogibia enye ye yede boy MP bia enye ye yede boy MC bia enye ye sobuo bi wo ho a Inspector General of Police IGP a wono na prosifo nyina sahene a election time force no so na wosan eda no amohwe abatoe so enti so bi wo sobuo bi a IGP ene yemfa nkonkobo no na enya amanyofo ene enya MC ene enya DC bia ononyamfo Dominic Nitiwul.
We as a country agreed from 2008 that ministers of state, government functionaries, including the MMDs, so municipal chief executives, the DCEs, ministers of state, government officials, members of parliament cannot and should not be in charge of security when it comes to election matters. It should be left to the purview of the security services led by the police. So at the national level, it is the Inspector General of Police who is in charge of the security, the committee that oversees the security when it comes to election purposes. And at the regional level, it is the regional police commander who is in charge of it. And at district level, it is the district police commander who is in charge of it. And so that's how it is. There's an election committee at the national, at the regional, and at the district. If you are calling the Minister for Interior, he would just simply come and tell you he was not in charge of it. It's the IGP. If you call any other person, whether it's Defense or Interior or any of the ministers, they would just be there. They will have no answers because at the day of before elections, the election and after election is the security people who are in charge, led by the Inspector General of Police. And so if the Speaker thinks, or the House thinks that they want to call the election security to come and brief this House, it cannot be ministers or government appointees, because they have no role. And in fact, it was good. It's good that the executive were not in charge of security. It's always been like that. Because you cannot be a judge of your own court. It's wrong. And so that's why if you are calling somebody, it can only be the IGP and his team that will come and then you decide what happens. But I can say the record does not speak, or the record does not support your position that it was just 2020 and 2024 that people died out of election. I can tell you 2004 in Tolo, in Kumbungu, go and find out. And several other places, people discuss these things. But just like somebody hinted, some of these discussions is helps when we first do a committee of the whole, and after that, if we decide that there are some things that we want to talk to the public about, we can talk to the public about. I don't have any problem.
Obi wan sambisabi anu yie afa nipa eto ananam se do afia batwemu a Inspector General of Police ane enkonko bisa no Oronyamfo Dominic Nitiwul wano ane Defense Minister na yawdaso abatwemu se munim se abatwa mpso ne so bi wo honom a emrase bedwa abatwa no sunsanso no wona tweso dawre ebi kura wo koto ensomadu agiri wo koto fanti akwa nofo wo koto ene ne yekeka obie na yenka bi nhemu a Ablekumanov abatwa mpso no so ballot papers a womodi akwa kosie awo Kwashiman cluster of schools so ene dey beto dwa yese ase na ase sai esom de akwa kwasha school no library mu ho na ballot papers no wom de kokosie ye na wom de akwa kosia na afa de eja afrinfri he akotoma ma ballot papers no se de dwure ba ka asem a ase dwure ba adane nso ade ehwe kura enye yie na eba ni se ya na ebisa ojedumfo se eba ni sei ni wakasa edima Ghana National Fire Service ADO1 Assistant Divisional Officer Alex Kinate na wa kire mu nyomo so motiye ene nyomo koko huye
Bobe living mu ene nyane ntiese ija ato Kwashiman cluster of schools na yeka de ne agency bia na landmark ebi ja ehyewo habibi enso no your officers no kudruye no na chese school na nkasa na ija no edim chese emse ni JSS block mini master no kasa ka no so mguso omocho exam anka test na komo makwan enso library na ground floor 3 story chese building so bi sawo nchenchen enso main JSS block no the library na wa asie no ona ye nhwemuni unse on the ballot papers akwakoguo no ewa Ablekumanov inti no ye call na chese ija dimu a maybe say bomodin say ewu say building no ebi achi enso no bia enya nhye ye mbo ho ban na yembo ballot papers no de ni na hye enso no inkorano desk ICT lab ni ho keka ho na bota hete bomodin say yema nyoma na say no endorse nti no enko wi HD ni bo ebi ho ban enso no ballot papers bia na ballot papers no library no honum na ase nhwemu chese oni jano ehyasie nti ho die na chese boxes na gugu honum no na hye
na se ADO1 Alex Kinate wakasa Ghana National Fire Service na we na Deputy Director of IT and Elections Edema NDC Amanyokono Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer anu achese womode womo mpinshiti enti se ballot paper show sense you womode ne ehia ne pinshiti ne from C ni from D eno eneye summary sheet achese abato no esusu so ekoso abato mpeso no so no krata woni chiro egusu bunku ntaa edigusu no eno nehia eye summary sheet no eno enehia enti se wanya no kra ansa no akwakohwe pink sheet ekira kwan enti ballot papers de embam na se ye re county ana re collation ana ekoso ewo constituency level na we de baabi akwa akodu de se ballot paper show ballot paper show court ebetumi aka asem no ama ayeye from see no ne from the near assembly sheet no eno ene hia.
The pink sheet is what they use to put figures together into the Form 1C, which is the collation form, the constituency collation form. Now, when the Form 1C is generated, then another form is generated known as the Form 1D, which is a summary sheet. That is the one the returning officer will use to declare the winner of the contest. Okay, and copies are given to agents. That is the Form 1C and Form 1D. These two copies are given to agents of each of the candidates. So when there is a contest of that nature in court, they will be looking for the Form 1C and the Form 1D to ascertain, because the Form 1C will have all the aggregated figures of each of the polling stations. It is when they are having difficulties in getting it, then they will now resort to the pink sheet. They don't go to the ballot papers. Okay, so ballot papers is for recount, and that one can only happen at the polling station. And so when it is not asked, if you don't ask for recount at the polling station, you don't come to collation center and ask for recount. So burning ballot papers, it doesn't change anything. It's neither here nor here. It doesn't, so long as the pink sheets are available, and then the summary sheet and the collation forms are available, the court can determine any issues concerning a declaration. So for that one, although it's a criminal conduct, if it is the report comes out that it's an arson, but it has not changed anything in terms of determining the case.
Wait, as a say, Alaji and Dr. Rashid Tanko computer. Our no deputy director of elections and IT Edmendi Samanyukuno from 1C ni di no honkwa de so bi ahye ballot people so nyo bi na hye no eno de embamu ba bia na emum saa de no asini de say obi pa ne kotwa gyatum de a eya bonefo sempa. Jonathan Kuma tete wase wo hwen edifiri nkrakan no se e bodwuma pa wase krobo obefra wate wonu be kan bibi esikasem a no ma msuma tibi why na nyesikasem dia monka
sikasem dia ope
oh yeah
na dia enye ba dia dia ompe
ende fa
onipa bibini nyina Ghana fo ne yete ha nanso Ghana fo no mu bi ewa abonte wo mu de nsem bi atudwa na wo mu ensem a wo mu eka nyina ne se Enkane mampanyin John Dramani Mahama oye president elect papa ye mo ayiko wabu adwuma na ye woni ma bebra ne nyina no won chen ene yete efri ye se wo ba be ye ne nyina ede amaye kama ye ne gi ne nyina ho nanso January 7th 2025 no ye nya de wusi akonya no se kin ye nimsa na wadwuma no officially na ahyase na mo se wo hyase a ye hia ne ma ba ko mienu miensa bi animanim ya hwese wo de be kandia wo de be hyase no ho ede amaye na no na Ghana fo ekyem se eniama ne de edoso pa na emum de ye hwehwe edi kan ni.
We should arrest those officers who stole our money. The sanitation minister, the e-levy and the betting tax. They told us to remove it from the system because we are suffering. He also has to create more jobs because the youth, what we are going through this time, unless God.
You should eliminate the COVID-19 and the betting taxes, e-levy. Yeah, whole lot. You should make things soft, that's all.
I think e-levy, the dollar rate, it's one factor. And infrastructure, that one too. Roads, for now, the economy too, I think is very bad.
I want President Mahama to abolish e-levy first. That's what I am expecting President-elect. So when he should abolish e-levy, because I am a business person. When he abolish e-levy, it will be good for me. Betting tax. Me, I don't gamble, but some of the youths gamble. So when he abolish it, I thought it would be okay for them. Number 3 is all our operation will cover all routes. That will save more income for corruption. Corruption is killing our country. So apart from corruption, we don't have any problem because Ghana is a rich country. Because of corruption, we don't see it. So when we tackle corruption, we are okay.
Well, so now, Mami Komenim. Archbishop Adima Action Chapel International Duncan Williams ononso eden samba kumienu bi tujwa wetem se Ghana fo munyanto wase gakre munyanto boase na baby a Ghana no edu no ye hia say president elect no ye de empire bomum etanachi.
We came with some few proposals to discuss as our guide. Most times when new president and government comes, there's a very high expectations that high expectation that everybody has, and so we know that expectations have to be managed because you are a vessel that has come. I mean, these things that people say you've come to save, you've come to rescue, they should be very careful of that because you are a vessel in the hands of God. So they should stop saying that and pray for you rather that God can use you to execute the mandate that the people of this country have entrusted into your hands. I know it's a difficult challenge. During the time you were in opposition, we were talking one time and you were saying that Mama Lodina, you and her were talking, and it was like, what at all are you doing? You know, why are you standing for election with the kind of situation that we are facing and things are going through? But I think that was when you realized that it's a call and it's a mandate of God that you have to fulfill. And I remember that when we talked 2016, I had mentioned to you what I felt prophetically, that you have to leave, and at the right time you come again.
Enti eno no aba no. Wode nsam we nyina no atudwa abraja, wo mo ekosra eye president elect. Na wo mo edin hye egu akwama mo di enkomo. Na Archbishop Duncan Williams wono edin nsam we atudwa aweye no. Na president elect enkanema mpanyin John Dramani Mahama wono nso edi kakra atudwa eno ochem se wahuni ama bebre na mo ba ko peso kasa adefa ho aye eto na doso ewo mawe mu eno nti na Ghana fo bebre wono mu entimi emia adwuma enya adwuma pa enye enkomanim na se Ghana fo ede akonya no ahye ne nsaidie obehwe no atoto niam yi na eto ho ensem no bibia etimi akọ ede amayen ewo kwampa so.
The priority is to stabilize the economy, reduce waste, rationalize taxes, because Ghana is increasingly becoming a high cost point of doing business. If we are to remain competitive, we must rationalize the taxes, make them more transparent, so that foreign investors feel attracted to come to our country, to come and set up, businesses and industries so that we can get employment for our young people. There's a limit to how much government can employ. We're a country of more than 30 million people. The number of people on government's payroll is less than 1 million. And so it just shows that the public sector is not the viable option for creating jobs. It's the private sector. But how we grow the private sector, not by lip service, but by giving concrete assistance to that sector is going to be very important. And of course, building up agriculture and agribusiness and agro-processing, which is an area that can employ very many more people. It's something that we need to look at and expand. So there's a lot that needs to be done, but God never gives you a load that your neck cannot carry. So once He's giving me this load, it is my hope that He will strengthen my neck.
President-elect Enkanema mpanyin John Dramani Mahama ene yete se wode ensem we nso atudwa no.
Kasiebo uti alright 99.1 FM so and sweet 100.3, Daddy 101.1, Abin 103.3, Venus 104.9, Lord 107.1, Facebook Bright 99.1 FM. Na YouTube so Bright 99.1 FM. Krata Afri Russia abepemu wa Ghana. Na krata na Afri Russia abepemu wa Ghana no. Russia mampeni Vladimir Putin en wachira osa krata yi. Na krata ni munsemunie. Wase owura Mahama enuonyamfo. Mesra wa se mifra kumapom ana me ma otiri nkwa na som. Me ma otiri nkwa se Ghana fo asan to aba ma obio se bedi the Republic of Ghana animu. na anyonkofa eda Russia ene Ghana eman entamu no anya ne tetetetetetetetetete abakosam tetetetetetetete amamre ekwanso ene ya anyonkofa ababesi nne na wose owarishemu ewogidie se na dwuma a wababebo se head of state no ebeboa pa ama edi empuntuo aba amamienu entemu na fe anyonkofa edomu mienu entemu no emu kra sa yere pampe na asaso aba foforo na edi enkoso abre amamienu nyina na wase ne mpa eboni ni nsusuye ne se ebesi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebesi ni yiye na afi nso no Nyankopon asama no apomodin ede aka ho enti His Excellency President elect of the Republic of Ghana John Dramani Mahama rechichensem eni nkrashesem eni moniyo ensem a Russia mampani Vladimir Putin wachrew ede abrani into the Facebook nebe kinkan bi Bright 99.1 FM ye Facebook no Bright 99.1 FM YouTube Bright 99.1 FM eda honum bra na ebehwe na ekinkan bie ewo honum na nia yesa kan edi amawo abrani don bia no eye transition team a omohwe aye ntotoye adani amamu ne di ama aban a wo ba no aya no mo de krata aba na eneda nso no eye the president elect ne transition team no de krata aba na womo si womo hu last minute sikatua any recruitment bi a aban wei de esise so wabreko a joint transition team no womo etena se efiada December da na tosu du miensa ana eno eye womasetena na etoso miensa omukokọ transe no womo nyina agitumu eye the second meeting mum joint transition team no agitumu say ya last minute recruitment sikatua any actions bia no womo ntwentwen so na joint transition team no nyina nkọ benkromu ansana womo to aso ayo sadie yo mukotena se agitumu no aban no transition team no womo amfa nya adwuma womo bogu ama last minute womo gusu ya recruitment egusu etuetu sika promoting enkrofo ewe adwumam backdate sa promotion no a womo ayeye no na the president elect in transition team ni se womo ka no masan aka ni bio se wo ya public official bia ye be promote wo ana se ye be hye wo ama wa ye promotion pressure bi party agent ni party full soldiers ni party supporters ana abai be ma pressure ama wa ye promotion bia no ka hu se sa promotion sini nyina emfa akwan mu last minute recruitment emfa akwan mu sikatua emfa akwan mu last minute omu ye ni nyina no se aban ne ba ombe sesa no we ma promotion emfa akwan pan so a ye be sa to de wa ba akire ana wo officer ko a ye be sew amwa ye sa promotion sa last minute recruitment ni sikatua no so no wonso wan famra kwan so anye nom so mo ba wonso omru be kwa kugira mra no na mra no wadi na mo ka amomate ase se sa niema no nyina omo ye no ewo sunsanso ewo consequences a eye consequences a ano ade mpa ntom hwe no mo nyina entom hofo ewo sa na mo ntonu a wani etuo ni mu ni anensa secretary ase eyo owura Felix Kwachi Ofosu wano ene kasa edema the president elect John Dramani Mahama ni transition team no ti enede nso nia wamasan edi abanio se last minute recruitment any secretary ni promotion ekokọ na omo amanfa kwan paso anye no womo nya tumi no wi a womesesa ni nyina
yadiasi na yadiasi de kenkan ye Adifi Bright 99.1 FM kasa fidie so baabi a wote ye nka bia na enwumako we adaroma ene se yesi nkonya yade ensem no ebesom mo Vice 20 adrom nyina Yesu adrom nyina champion adrobia enka dem bomodin se obenum bi egu nipadiem se wonipa ene betimi aboa amwetumi agent naso Mama P Cosmetic Center body lotion amana na fe Ghana de nyina no bibia dida na akwan mu nkrata fie be ma nkrata ho nsam nyina edimu kama the drop of transport limited sebro nya be ope kaja na de akotwi fam ewo ba bia pesa wuko bia no ne nyina no bo se eluku sa ba bia be ko bia no the drop of transport limited satellite zone yankombo de koda ene dish effort to ventures cars papa security doors see kwane collections designer perfumes mami entadi shembro nya be yefe ni enchem ehonme RMC Family Foundation and Afe Joy Industries Bright FM Christmas with the orphans yeah the air bro open say on so do the ba number near 0242 768 815 0242 768 815 na ne nyina no so waba be kan ho kama pa enyuma kwawe adaroma ene se Wobete Kasiebo no ye de eba wa kwan mu yenso a ye kenkan ye ede ema wo krobadishe kwame okansi mini abema
odi amono kwa dishe nana yaubeng Honorable Samuel Adongo mema good evening the immediate parliamentary candidate immediate past parliamentary candidate Emma NDC New Job enough when you team ni nyina yemamu nyina adwo emama yuko emamu ene yo enso
onu say no obone ho modern pa o New Job not obone ho modern pa because ohwe vote awotwen ya omo ba yina no ai omo ba yina na chese owonanim eye pa intino wayade pa na best man sport nkrakan okonya yechi na yede na hu se won nkrakan
na se ho de mi die mu ya me kwahwe ma de bi wo nya me be kire enti ho de ya me nam ho pa
okay you
se ma kire mu kuma to ye
ba to me ye mu
okay
odi ja ekire be kan wa kire na ya best man sport enti no yechi amamo nyina nyame nhyira ne yankase ye maame maame nka ne saa na ma nya asem anti ya akpele papa bi wonzu nji akase enko emfa ema nyame nhyira na wonya okase enti kwaw moli ani ewri
yo nyame ko wa cha aka
pachi
yo oh jawa asem
was it there
wa bomudi
ya boyidi
omo
and ye jamanu na emisa kemu awo
te nie na ehiraba na te ene kwakuskinin aka madudu okunu obese ketua bi anim ofie ha
ebe kumo je nyina ma na aka
ya di na muni edia ne kom na ebeku madudu okunu kom ne kunu ti obehwem no afa ba kona de ne aka na mamia beboa pa ti the digital technician DJ famous Emma Kaseba odem ompaso okeche wadwuma mba bia wa utie bia the digital technician edi accountant michiawo strong man michiawo michiawo pa ni muadin
Mandela nso uchiano
okay
DJ Mandela ono nso uchiane pa
okay nena enchemu striking force
Minia, ene ye wo wiase a ye de ehun atia sete. Na ma oje ohun a enje enu ntina Joy Herbal Center ayen hwehwem akotetete akofa enupa ye nananom edija ayen aba 2020 mu. Eno ne Vico 20. Tebio Vico 20. Vico 20 eno ne edro nwanwaso a ekenya ayen kwamo na ye dwumaden de boy ni pedua ho ban. No Vico 20 na beboa. Vico 20 eyemawo na yemawo ni ofi. Nanso kai hunu se Vico 20 Ofra Wendy in Fiedumien. Vico 20, a pure herbal medicine. I feel Joy Herbal Center. Vico 20, FDA Shishim Ajatum say,